Okay, so something else I get a lot is, but you seem so young. How could you possibly have been through so many things medically? So I'll try to put it in a nutshell. I had scoliosis from when I was a child, went through years of chiropractor treatment, and eventually had to have major back surgery when I was 17 to correct the scoliosis. So I am officially half metal, half woman, and it was a horrendous ordeal to recover from having to reinflate my lungs because they had to puncture my lungs, they had to remove my organs, they had to saw off half of my spine, insert a metal rod, so on and so forth. Pretty horrific. And as a result, the recovery included things like having to learn how to get out of bed without seriously injuring myself, learning how to walk, learning how to go downstairs, learning how to breathe again at full lung capacity. It was quite an ordeal and took several years to even begin getting back to baseline. Fast forward quite some time later, and I had two very complicated high risk pregnancies. I love my children, and it certainly took quite a bit to bring them into this world. I had quite an ordeal of pain throughout the pregnancies, as well as very high risk diabetes. Regardless of how much natural treatment and dieting I was doing, it just was never enough. So that was its own ordeal. Fast forward a few months later, and I nearly died from a severe pancreatitis attack, which I had no idea that that's what was going on. But by the time the hospital assessed me, they seriously looked at me like I was a dead woman walking and just could not believe the levels of toxicity in my body and that the organs literally were on the verge of starting to shut down. So that was pretty serious. Fast forward a few more years, and I got into a major car collision. And by major, I mean 2.5 flips in the air. And I was driving, and it's a long story, but ultimately, um, I almost lost my life, my children, and my arm. Well, you probably can't see it, but yes, I almost had my arm amputated really from all the damage. So I've had many, 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 many surgeries to have my arm even look like that. And much pain medication, much physical therapy, much everything. And then trying to detox off of the pain medication was its own separate ordeal. So lots of things in the medical and physical package of conditions and challenges that I've had to go through. And in all of it, I've been very adamant to be as organic, as natural as possible. No one really told me that. It wasn't certainly my family's values for whatever reason, but it's just always been mine. And through it all, I've learned quite a bit. And at this point in my life, I can honestly tell you that I live pain free and free of any health conditions, and would love to help you get there with whatever conditions you're going through as well.